In this video, I'm going to be looking for the source of a leak in my AC system, get it fixed, recharge it, and get this AC working on this 2004 Trailblazer. Because it's hot. So I'm going to be trying to find the location of my leak in my system with this black light. It's an A19 bulb I got at Walmart. So I'm going to be using this to illuminate the dye that is in these AC systems. Whenever you get them recharged, they'll throw some dye in there, and throwing a black light on it will cause the dye to really glow brightly, so you're able to locate where the leak's coming from pretty quickly. It might be a little bit difficult since it's broad daylight, but we should be able to find the leak pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm just taking my light and kind of shining it around where these connection points are between separate lines. And I do see a little bit of dye right there, but it looks pretty old. I had replaced the O-rings here whenever I replaced the compressor, so I doubt that this is the source of my leak. So I'm looking down at the compressor itself. Again, this was replaced not that long ago. All new O-rings and everything. Everything looks pretty good down here. I'm going to go up here around the dryer. Everything looks pretty decent up here, so I don't think the leak is in the engine compartment. Let's look down in the wheel well here, because we do have AC lines running to the rear of the vehicle because this has rear AC. Well, here we go. There's our leak. It looks like a bowling alley on Friday nights. This is definitely a significant leak and the cause of my problem. So we're going to have to replace this line. Let's take a closer look. So my thought process here was to disconnect this and then remove this line. I assumed that there might be somewhere halfway down another connection. That way I can disconnect it there, and take that piece out. Go to my parts Trailblazer, pull that exact same piece off of here, and just put new O-rings in it, and voila, fix it. But no, that is not the case. From that connection there to where it connects to the underside of here and goes into the rear air system inside of this fender here, it's one solid piece. So now I'm thinking about maybe having a like a splice job on this thing, butt connect, or figure out some way to splice that line together, hopefully leak free, and fix the rear air that way. Or if there's a block off kit, I know I did that with my Yukon years ago, block off the rear AC and then just have front AC and have that run AC for the entire car, which is less than ideal when we're hauling our kids and groceries and stuff in the back. So that's where I'm at with this. I guess it's time to do some research. Okay, so I've got the Trailblazers on the patio. This is my wife's old Trailblazer, the OG. I've already removed the high pressure line off of this. Came out from underneath this fender well and right on the frame rail. This side actually had a compression fitting on it. I think it had a leak at one point, and so this was replaced. So we need to get underneath the car, cut this thing, and remove it to fix this AC. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Okay, we're under the passenger side frame rail. You can see the bracketry that holds these AC lines in place. And this straight section right here, it's going to take my pipe cutting tool and cut probably like right here. So we're going to remove that line. So we're going to disconnect this fitting, and then we'll yank this thing out, and then we'll splice in the new line. See, I undid the 10mm bolts, so now I need to get these clamps off the line so I can separate the little one from the big one so we can get the pipe cutter on it. Looking outward, we've got these aluminum clamps that hold these lines in place. So it only took me like 25 minutes to get this thing off. Ended up just breaking this tab off. Now I can't use it. I don't know how to get those off otherwise. Unreal. Got my tube cutter. We're gonna go ahead and cut this thing in two. There we go. So I've got a 13mm nut there and there. This one removes the bracket, and then that one removes the fitting from that fitting. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those. Okay, we're back at this today. I cannot get this separated from here. I believe there's some corrosion in here or some sort of sealer or something that's keeping this in place, but this will not budge off of this fitting. So we're gonna try some drastic measures, throw some heat on it. So what I'm doing here is heating up the stud. Hopefully this heat will transfer down this direction I don't want to heat the aluminum directly per se, because that dissipates heat so well. You just need an awful lot of heat. So hopefully the heat will travel down through the stud, crack whatever sealer or whatever's down in there, and hopefully this thing will pop off. Let's give this a few minutes. Alright, so things have escalated quickly. I've taken apart all this stuff here looking for a way to disconnect this line up here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is just cut here and then just pull that lower section out. So cutting this means I have to replace it, and I've got my parts Trailblazer over there, and this is what I've pulled off the car. This is the section right here that I'm having difficulty with down there. It's got a connector here and a connector there that goes to the condenser. So this is right behind the coolant reservoir. Let me show you. We've got a connection right there, and that's the one I'm talking about. The other one plugs into the condenser right here. So I'm going to disconnect those two, pull this whole section out of here, just like I did for the other car. And it was okay, pretty simple to remove. The nut that was holding this connector in place was pretty stuck on, so I had to, really had to fight that one. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and remove that from here. Okay, update. Got all of the nuts off of the mounts, and that connector right there is disconnected. Got this one disconnected. Went ahead and got my tube cutter. I cut this pipe, got it off the bracket, so now I can snake this bottom bad portion out of there, and then we'll snake in our new used portion. And then once that's all in, we'll snake this in here where that goes. That's where we're at. So now I'm going to pull that old piece out. So here we have the old piece now, and you can see right here it's worn through this protective sheathing. There is a divot right here at the end of my fingernail. I believe it's worn so thin that it just popped a pinhole right there. The culprit. It feels really rough and corroded right there. So this is the piece I pulled off my wife's old Trailblazer, and you can see that is pristine. That's what it's supposed to look like. I got the new old line put in. It's just resting in there. It's not connected to anything just yet, but the broken line and the replacement line. I want to show you something real quick. There is a filter that's down in here. Whenever I replaced the compressor on this from carparts.com, this new filter came in the pack. I didn't replace it when I was doing all that, but now that I've got this part, now I will replace this. Let's show you what the old one looks like. Just pull that out of there. See, it's got some gunk on it. I'll put the new one in. Not too bad a shape. So I had gone to the auto parts store and picked up part number MT2550. It's basically all the seals and O-rings you need to repair your AC for the Trailblazer. This is the washer seal that I just pulled off of here. I'm gonna have to replace that. I'll just match that up. Looks like that's it right there. So I'll have to do the same, probably the same size for this one as well. And then for the one down there, I think it's actually smaller. Probably this little tiny one right here. So I've got 3 washers, and I'm glad I bought this kit before I started tearing into this, because I ended up needing more than I thought I was going to need. Okay, so I got those 2 seals replaced, so we're ready to drop this line into the car. So we've got the 2 fittings put in. I've got the brackets back on the posts on the frame of the car. So we'll just need to put these 10mm nuts on those. And this will be pretty much in good shape topside. Put everything back together. Okay. everything is put back together the way it came off, I think. If I didn't, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, done with the top side. All right, I'm gonna splice the line with this connector right here. I got this off of, I don't know, Amazon or something. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks. That's the part number. It is an AC line compression fitting. I'm gonna demonstrate what it's gonna be doing. Okay, so it's got a rubber seal in there that comes out. But this is the compression piece right here. As you tighten this down, it'll clamp where these gaps are. It'll close that gap and pinch the line. So to demonstrate, put this on first, and then this. Okay, and then that one's getting tightened down. Obviously putting the other end on that side. Tighten these down real good, it should compress. That gasket should really squeeze on that pipe and basically make a tight seal so that nothing leaks. In theory, that's what's gonna happen. So I got both mating surfaces cleaned, so we're ready to install that washer. Okay, I've got it all buttoned back together. Did some good old redneck zip ties. Got this all buttoned up. Went ahead and did some foam wherever it was getting kind of close to hitting the underside so that it won't rub. We'll get this into a local shop that'll pull vacuum and charge the system for me. So we're getting close to the summer. I'm pretty sure the wait list to get in is going to be lengthy. So the car is blowing ice cold AC. I think I spent about 90 bucks or something in town to have it serviced and charged. So the wife is happy, and if the wife's happy, the whole family's happy. So thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, hit that like switch below. As always, God bless. We'll see you next time.